Okay, folks, so today I'm going to show you a little bit more about the TTQA strategy for pre-writing. Turn the question around is what it stands for. It's also called steal and slide. It's a strong way for you to take your question and turn it into the first sentence of your essay. You can do this strategy even before you read the text. Do the do what strategy and then do your TTQA, and it will help you to kind of figure out what you're going to be writing about. And there's a really simple formula for how we do this strategy. So remember, the first thing that you have to do is you have to read the prompt a few different times. You have to make sure you know what the prompt is asking you. Then you have to find the question words. And the question words are who, what, when, where, why, or how. In 6th grade essays, the two most common question words you're going to find are why and how. You need to find those words in the prompt and you need to put a big X across them because you're not going to be using them in your prompt. But you do need to know what they are because they're going to help you to determine what linking phrase you're going to use. So watch me as I go through and do the very first set of questions. I'm going to model TTQA for you guys. So I'm going to mark this question up. I'm just going to use my highlighter here. Okay. Based on the article, explain why the author claims that play is serious business. Support your answer with important details from the text. So, I think that my question word is why. Okay? So, I'm going to X that out. I go down to drawing, go right here. I'm just going to put a big X through Y. Now I'm going to look at the rest of the question. The author claims that play is serious business. Okay, I'm going to go over here. I'm going to put a text box in right here. And I'm going to start with the word right after my question because that's what the TTQA strategy asked me to do. The author claims that play, and I'm just repeating the question here, guys, turning the question right around and turning it into a sentence, is serious business. Now, the question word was why, so I know that I need to add the linking word because. And I'm just going to leave it like that because I haven't read the text yet. I don't know what my 3 reasons are going to be. But notice I've already written my thesis statement. I just need to go find my 3 reasons. The author claims that play is serious business because. So I read my prompt, I found my question word, I crossed it out, I started my thesis sentence with the words right after the question word, and then I looked at my question word and I knew that because it was why was my question word, that I needed to use the linking phrase because. Now, if this were actually an essay question, I would go into my text and read, and I would use my do what strategy and my TTQA strategy to guide me in what I was taking notes on and what I was looking for. So let's do a few more. I'm going to go down to the next one. Explain how the author creates a sense of mystery in the selection. Support your answer with important details from the passage. So again, I use my markup strategy here. The author has used a different question word this time. Oh, not the markup I wanted, excuse me. The author has used the question word how. Now that's a word that's kind of tricky for students. They don't always know how to answer a question that has a how, but it's really simple. And the linking phrase that we can use is in that. And that makes us sound really fancy. So watch me as I change this into and flip it around into a topic or thesis statement. The author creates a sense of mystery in the selection by blank. So when you're using the word how, you have 2 phrases that you can use, and you really have to play with them to figure out what sounds right based on the question. So how can ask you in what ways, or how can ask you sort of methods. So you really need to choose between the phrases, the linking phrases, in that or by. Depends which one sounds better to you. I chose by because I just think it sounds better. So the author creates a sense of mystery in the selection by blank. Okay, notice I haven't even read these selections. I probably never will, but I can still do my question words and my TTQA. So let's do one more, and then we're going to start doing some more together in class. So a creative person is someone who uses imagination to come up with new ideas. Based on the article, explain why John Kovac can be called a creative person. Support your answer with important information from the article. This would be a great passage to do the do-what strategy with. But for right now, I'm just going to look for my question. So what's really interesting is that this author that wrote this question, the first sentence is all background knowledge. Okay, so don't let that fool you when you get an essay prompt. Sometimes they will give you a sentence or two of background knowledge. It's good, you might include pieces of it in your essay, but that's not where your question lies. Your question lies in this next paragraph, this next sentence, excuse me. Based on the article, explain why. So there's my question word right there. Why? Why John Kovac can be called a creative person. So I'm going to use my text box over here. Okay. John Kovac can be called a creative person. And my question word is why. So I'm going to use the linking phrase because. And there you go. So notice we haven't read any of these texts. We don't even know who John Kovac is. But we know that we are able to write our topic sentence because we know a strategy to flip our question around. So you read the question once, get an idea for what it's asking. You read the question twice, and you cross off the question word. Who, what, when, where, why, how. Then you start writing your topic thesis statement with the words right after your question word. And you use your question word to determine what linking words or phrases you're going to do. It's almost like a recipe that you can follow step by step to write really strong topic or thesis statements. So let's try this together with some other questions ourselves.